Hey guys, how you doing? So, somebody asked me a very interesting question. Is it better to invest in your own business or some friend's startup rather than putting your money in the stock market? So, short answer is generally speaking, no. Why? Because the chance that your investment will go to zero if you buy an ETF of a basket of stocks like VOO as an example. I'm not saying you buy that one. So the chance of you losing all your money investing in the broader stock market in an index fund like VOO is pretty much zero, well, next to zero anyway. Whereas if you invest in a friend's company, some new business idea, the chances of you losing all your money are probably around 80%. That's just the fact of the matter. I'm not making fun of your friends or anything, but that's just the nature of business. About 80% of business, give or take, fail within the first 3 to 5 years. That's just a sad fact. So given the high rate of failure that you're going to see with most businesses, what you want to do is if you want to invest in your friend's business or your own business, you have to put in money that you can afford to lose, right? So this is a very high risk investment. I've done that kind of stuff, by the way. Some I succeeded in very well, some I haven't, but it's in the highly speculative tranche, if you will, or pile, if you're going to invest in some new company, whether it be yours or a friend's startup or something. Now, if you want to invest in an actual startup where there's a bunch of investors involved, then there's all these legal requirements there. In that situation, you have to be, at least in Canada, I think it's called an accredited, well, it's not I think. In Canada, it's called an accredited investor. I'm not sure about the US. I have not done it in the US. But an accredited investor, if you're going to invest in an official startup where you got banks involved and so on, that requires that you have a certain minimum net worth. Depending where you are, it could be $1 million, it could be $2 million, something like that. Then you can do that. But again, these are highly speculative, meaning very high risk investments. And I would not include that in your long-term retirement investment strategy. The reason you invest in the stock market in broad index funds, as I suggested in previous videos, if you don't know what I mean, you can go look at them. The reason you do that is because the risk, there's always a risk, but when you're in an index fund, the whole market would have to collapse, which hasn't happened in like about 100 years, something like that. So you should be good. So yeah, that's why investing in the broad market is what you want to do for your majority of your investment capital in terms of retirement, because you don't want to gamble your life savings or your retirement savings on a venture that has an 80% chance of failing. I'd rather be in the broader stock market in index funds. Yeah, that's the story with that. So that being said, I have done really well investing in my own businesses and in startups, and but you know, you got to really know what you're doing in that situation. So one of the things I teach people is when they're starting up a new business of their own, is that it's better to do when you're very young, so you have time. So if you fail, you can start up again. You want to invest money that you can afford to lose. You want to do it at a time, ideally, when you don't have too many responsibilities. You don't have a wife and kids to look after. This is the best time to start your own business. So since we're on the topic of starting your own business, I've started several small businesses. Some have done well, some not too well. You have to go in there, again, very light and quick when you're starting up a business. You have to go in, what I mean by light and quick, meaning you don't put too much money into it. You put the minimal amount you need to get it going, and you move quick, and you move quickly to figure out whether or not the business is viable. so you can lose the least amount of money as possible. So I've had a few successful businesses, but I've tried many different products, if you will, or attempted businesses that failed. But they didn't kill me because I just did them quick and dirty to see if there was actual market for me there. So anyway, we're going off on a tangent. So the reason why you invest in the broader market in index funds is because they're far more safe in the long term than investing in some new company that somebody's starting, whether it be you or some friend or something. If you want to invest in a small company, you have to invest a very small percentage of your capital. That's your investment cash. And it's money you should be willing to lose. This is money that you can afford to lose. That's the word. So I'll leave you with this. I remember somebody told me once, starting a business like going to the racetrack with horses. You don't go there with money you can't lose. That's pretty much what it is. The upside to investing in a startup or some new business, you can make much more money in terms of multiples than you can in the stock market. But the risk is super, super high, dudes. All right, I hope you found this useful. Cheers.